I really don't know how I feel about this. Now, I don't get all political on this channel because it's not what it's about, but it is causing me some, how to put it, some stress, worry, anxiety. That's the word, anxiety. And when anxiety is considered as one of the problems, one of the symptoms of fibromyalgia, and I'm suffering with throat today as well. I just feel really bit deflated. A bit deflated in people, actually. That affects you. It certainly affected me. Disappointed in people, after the EU elections. Living here in France, you see, we've got Emmanuel Macron as the president. He's got the mandate until 2027. But it does worry me deeply. It does. That Marine Le Pen's party, the Rassemblement National, the RN party, which is a far right party, has gained such a majority. What does it tell you about the people? That's kind of what worries me. And I know a few people here who are definitely on the far right or the far left, and they don't talk a lot of sense. But you see, it affects me and my dear wife. You see, living here in France, it's because we live here under the carte séjour and under the trade and cooperation agreement, and it's because of Brexit, you see, and so of course there's a lot of grief back then when that was all happening. Hell of a lot of grief, a lot of worry, a lot of stress. We didn't know what's going to happen, you see, and now it looks like we might end up going through it again in a few years' time, after 2027, because Emmanuel Macron's still got the mandate until then. But you see, far right parties get into Parliament. Needless to say, it's going to cause policies are going to change, aren't they? There'll be policies that don't necessarily fit in with I don't think the common good personally, but what usually happens, I suppose, with far right parties is that it goes full circle, doesn't it? It's what happened in the UK. We had the right wing Conservatives, and then it's sort of like done a bit of a U-turn there. But the Labour parties had to go more right to cope with to be able to get a majority there, according to the polls. That obviously that election hasn't happened yet. But it does worry us. It just flares up anxiety and what have you. The idea that we could have this cohabitation with Marine Le Pen, but also Emmanuel Macron. Oh, hello, Sebastian. I've got my little doggy here. I have to admit, they make me happier. I have to admit. Can you see him? There he is. That's Sebastian Beer. Hello, my fella. Oh, I know you wonder what's going on, don't you? So it kind of they're triggers, aren't they? Stress, worry, anxiety. And anxiety is one of the known symptoms of fibromyalgia. That kind of brings you down. If you I'll get this round in my head. See, last time when we first here, Clara, my dear wife didn't quite understand what's going on. She seemed to think that after the elections and Emmanuel Macron made the statement saying that he's dissolving Parliament, the Assembly Nationale here in France, and I thought, oh crikey, Carol seemed to think that it's to do with he was resigning or stepping down, but it doesn't work the same systems we've got in the UK, does it? So it's just a worry, Just sit here and just take in my surroundings. So that's where we're very fortunate, living here in France. We absolutely love it here, but we're quite quiet people really in many ways. We don't go out anywhere. We might go for a meal sometimes and do things like that. That's about it. We're so busy here on the land, but we're not really big on socialising. It doesn't do us any favours in many ways. We quite like the isolation, but that's not going to help us, obviously, perfecting the language so we can actually get maybe citizenship, for instance, here in France. What we really need to be doing is really working. I struggle with my voice. How am I going to do it with my voice? I can't reach the notes. I really can't. There's fibre. Maybe I get myself down as having a disability. Maybe I don't know. It is a disability, I suppose. It does it doesn't incapacitate me completely. I still do loads of stuff. So it's not at that stage. Not yet. It might be later. I don't know. But at the moment, it's just kind of like it's like dragging a ball and chain around with you, It's a chain and ball and chain. Yeah. So that's what it feels like at the moment. It's just like this dead weight. It just slows you down. It makes everything takes longer, and it's difficult. It's difficult. So when you get these events happening in life, these worries, what's going on in Russia and Gaza and how people are treated around the world, it's just, it saddens me, It really does sadden me. I just, why can't we just all get on? Is it really that difficult just to get on? And just treat everybody as one people? I don't understand why things are so difficult. Why are things so destructive? Why are people so greedy? We don't really need much in life, really, to survive. We don't. But we've gone down such a rabbit hole, which is just laden us with additional stress, whether it be online, social media. You get the old keyboard warriors and stuff like that, putting their 2 pennies worth, trying to be disruptive. We've got actors, like Russian actors, what have you, and Chinese actors, and Indian actors, and in the US, all just trying to cause disruption, trying to cause problems, because it betters them, allows them to sell something, allows them to provide a service to electoral campaigns. The world would be a much happier place if we did disconnect a little bit, I think. Disconnect from social media. Now, I know I do YouTube and stuff like that, but I don't do any Facebook, what have you. The only thing I do on Facebook is Messenger to keep in contact with the kids. That's about it, really. I don't really do anything else on social media. It's not my thing. It used to be. I used to be on there quite a bit, I do occasional bit of Twitter. But I've cut that right back to, I don't go on daily like I used to. It's a couple of times a week, 3 times a week. Sometimes I might go on my political. I've got another channel, political channel, you see. So it's, I use Twitter and that for that. It's quite useful for that. I don't like it. I don't really want. I'd like to let go of it more. And social media as a whole, just. I don't know what I feel like. I just feel like I want to put my head in the sand. And not just disconnect from everything that's going on. And to do that, I need to make ourselves pretty much off grid. At the moment, at home, we've got a lot of solar panels and stuff like that. And our electric is mainly from them, but we are connected to the grid, and that's not a huge issue. But there's other things as well. We just need to. I want to be left alone. Do you know what I mean? I just want to be left alone. Some people, well, that's sad. No, I'm just tired, worn out. I'll get older now, and too long in the tooth. And I find that all these things are like triggers. All these things anything that creates disharmony. It literally it upsets me, and it drags me down. So it triggers the fibro and all that sort of stuff. It feels like anxiety, especially stress. And I just want to be able to just get on with my life and mess about with the dogs and stuff, and do a bit of gardening, earn a few pennies, if I have, when I have to. So, do a rewarding project here with planting the trees there, you see. Just to become all grounded, with the earth and all that, and be a bit more. I'm not talking about being all hippie and all that. Just to pull away from the things that make me ill. I'll still do YouTube, just so I find this useful for me to be able to express myself. Express yourself. But yeah, I just I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who are so negatively affected by the level of disharmony that's going on. The war, hate, just nastiness, It's like on other channels, you sometimes get comments on there, and that people just deliberately trying to upset you. Oh, quite often, yeah, because I'm a bit overweight, to say the least. And I weigh about 102 kilos at the moment, way overweight. I should be around 75, around between 70 and 80. So, yeah, I'm very overweight. But people like to point the finger, don't they? They like to be nasty. They like just to try and upset you. That's sad, isn't it? You know, people feel that they've gone to they've used their time up to write a comment just to be derogatory towards you. I find they are the lowest. I really do. I don't understand what drives people to put themselves out like that. It's just sad that there's people that exist, unfortunately. It don't bother me. Don't worry. Right, that actually doesn't. That's what I'm too long on the tooth to worry about things like that anymore. I'm more worried about the bigger issues. You know, about the greater good. You know, about the majority of people, how they've been treated around the world. I worry about the environment. I worry about environmental migration. You know, people haven't been suffering because they can't grow food or got no water, and they're obviously going to. They are already migrating. Climate crisis, migration. They're moving towards cooler climates. They're all heating up as well, aren't they? It's just all these things. All these problems that are going on at the moment. They weigh heavy on you, and that just triggers your anxiety. It makes me a little bit tetchy as well. I'm not quite so forgiving in many ways. I'm talking about my own family and stuff like that. I become a snappier for no reason. No reason other than I'm stressed. Stupid. Don't get me wrong, I'm not always snapping. I'm not, but I don't want to do it at all. You know, I just want because it doesn't do any good either, does it? The stress, the worry, just doesn't do any good. It really doesn't. How do you deal with these sort of things? You know, when something, if you've got fibromyalgia or some other condition, or just being an ordinary fellow or lass, you know, how do you deal with dealing with the stresses of life? Because that's what life is these days, just stress and worry, and through necessity in some cases that we have to work so blooming much just to make ends meet. It didn't used to be like that. Everything's just so expensive, so difficult for people to be able to get their foot on the old property ladder and earn a living and pay the bills, whether it be just rent or mortgages or whatever it might be, or own a car or whatever you need, you know. Just to go on holiday, all the things we used to take for granted, and now it's like, everything's hard. It's precious, isn't it? And that makes things. I feel having fibromyalgia, I'm worse than I used to be. I'm also now I know that I have fibromyalgia. It's a lot of us up in here, isn't it? You see. What say you? Please leave it in the comments down below. Toodaloo.